Welcome to the Smarter Money Life podcast hosted by Andy Mattingly. Frequent guest on local TV news, regular segment on Indy Now TV, and a leader here at Forum Credit Union. Forum's mission is to help members lead their financial dreams, and in today's podcast, we're going to cover a topic that will help you improve your financial life. Do you wish you were better at budgeting? Have you recently, or do you regularly go off your budget? Hello everyone, this is Andy Mattingly, and I'm back today with tips to help you be better at budgeting, and perhaps even help you avoid many of the budgeting woes that almost everyone falls into. And I think you're going to find these moves very simple. Now, there's lots of reasons why you go off budget, or maybe you even decide to stop budgeting. So it doesn't matter what your budgeting method is, it really is important that you keep it up. And if you go off budget, to get it back to working for you, because there's very few people that don't need a budget if they want to accomplish any significant financial milestones. So here are a few quick tips that you can use to get your budget back to working for you. First, most of the time your budget goes off the rails is because it's a spending problem. It's not the type of budget you're using or your amount of income. It's spending. So find out what type of spending that's causing you problem. Is it that you're making a lot of ad hoc purchases and you're not really putting them in your budget? Is it too much entertainment? Is it too many gifts? Is it that you didn't have all of these expenses in your budget because you forgot about them? So first, find out what the problem is. Another thing is to try a different budgeting method. If you're just tired of budgeting because you categorize every transaction and you're just like, I just can't do this every week. It takes me too long. I don't want to do it. Then find a different budgeting method. There's a lot of different ones out there. Some are easy, some are weekly, some are monthly, and even with the budgeting app, you do have to spend some time with it. So find one that works for you. Now, I already talked about this. Unexpected expenses a lot of times are what throws your budget off. So put those in your plan. That means put in a category in your budget that you're going to start saving for unexpected expenses. Save that money so when you have it, you can just pull it over. You can add a little more income that month to your budget and you'll stay on track. Now, also means you have to actively work your budget. So let's say that you have $200 this month for entertainment and you have $100 for gifts. Well, you end up having to go to 2 weddings and it's going to cost you $200. Then maybe you only do $100 in entertainment. Plus, you're going to 2 weddings. Isn't that entertainment enough? Now, another thing is that you have to make sure you're actually tracking real expenses. So when you set up a budget, a lot of times you kind of estimate, but some of those budgets can change. Maybe your rent goes up. Maybe how cold you could stand to have your apartment isn't really as cold as you want it. So if you're paying your own electric bill, you might have to add to it and make some changes in other categories. So make sure you're looking at real expenses. The next thing is don't ignore the small expenditures. Sometimes we'll go somewhere and we'll, spend $5 on this or $7 on that. And those can add up if we're doing that every couple of days in a week, in a month, that can add up. And a lot of times people don't like to track expenses if they're under $20. Well, maybe it's just the small expenditures that are your problem. Maybe another thing to do is that you need to change a payment method. Maybe you're used to using a credit card and putting everything on there and then paying it off. Well, the credit card doesn't really have any rails on it. So maybe you need to go to a debit card because the rails are, how much money do I have in my account that'll keep you there? That's usually pretty easy. Another thing to do, we all want to do splurge spending. So make sure you have a category in your budget for splurge spending. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do it every month, but you can save again for that. And then when you have something big that you want to splurge on, you already have the money and you don't have to take from another category. Another thing is make sure that you have an accountability partner, whether that's an app or someone else that helps you make sure that you stay on your budget, and share it with them. And this comes into the fact that if you use the latest technology, that app can be your accountability or partner that maybe says you really shouldn't buy those on sale Taylor Swift tickets that cost 10 times what they are because you don't have the money for that. Then you also need to make sure that you're looking at ways to lower expenses. And a lot of people think about getting rid of lattes and things like that. But what I'm talking about is reducing, if you have loan payments, can you refinance them? Can you consolidate several payments? Can you look at how you've structured your student loan payments? All of those things where you can get rid of some of those monthly reoccurring expenses and lower them will help you have a little bit more money in your budget. And the last one is adding more income through gig work or monetizing your talents. If you have something that you make that you can sell, or you want to do something extra, outside of your primary job, those are other ways, because adding income is another way to make your budget work. So most importantly, when it comes to budgeting, don't give up. Everyone, and I mean everyone, struggles from time to time. And everyone always has to change their budget. Whether you lose your income or you have more income, you have to change your budgeting method to fit whatever your goals are at this time. So don't give up. Keep on budgeting. This has been another episode of the Smarter Money Life podcast powered by Forum Credit Union. Please leave your thoughts in the comments and be sure to look for our next episode wherever you get your podcast. Remember, now is a great time to make a difference in your financial life. Until next time.